Let's call this segment, it's going to be a big one, expectations versus reality. So I'd like to chat about what is expected by residents in terms of services and what the municipality can actually provide. But first, I think we have to acknowledge something, that people are frustrated out there.
Yeah.
There's not enough jobs that pay a living wage. I just read a new study released by StatsCan just a few days ago that finds between 1998 and 2018, so the last 20 years, the percentage of Canadians with minimum wage jobs has doubled, and a third of them have post-secondary degrees. So a family can't live on minimum wage like they did 20 or 30 years ago. Is there anything the municipality can do to fix an intractable challenge like this?
Yeah, it's a tough topic. Expectations and reality. I mean, you could probably talk for days, about that. Talking about the jobs. I mean, I do acknowledge that there are some people in our community that are frustrated. I think that's not a local issue. You talk about manufacturing jobs in some of the small communities across the country and North America in general. They've disappeared. That day of, where Dad used to work on a line in a factory and he had a job for 30 years and, he got his pension and retired. I mean, that's changed, right? And we've morphed into many different kinds of jobs and self-employment and, high-tech internet jobs, which, take a bit of a different skill set. I get the frustration. I'm not, I think I get frustrated too because there's only so much a municipality can do. I mean, at the municipal level, this is a global problem. At the municipal level, I think we are doing what we can do. We're working very hard to, put processes in place. We can't force companies to come here. We can't force, somebody to start a business. But what we can do is we can put all the elements in place to make this area attractive. 70%, for instance, of jobs, new jobs right now come from existing businesses as they expand. So, what can we do with the good companies that are here already to help them expand? And I'm hearing from a couple of big companies here that are looking to expand in the next year or so. So that's the good news. 30% comes from new businesses. So how do we attract new businesses to the area? And we can talk about a Walmart, and people say, well, it's going to create 300, 400, 500 jobs, but they're going to be minimum wage jobs. But minimum wage jobs aren't a bad thing because they can help a young student subsidize, save some money to go to school. They can help a senior who's maybe struggling, who just wants a few hours a week to subsidize their pension type of idea. And I think that's what a lot of those do. They're not going to be sustaining jobs to raise a family with. So we work hard through our economic development division to we have an incubator. We've signed a pilot project to create a business incubator. Our small business center is working with anybody who wants to start a business. We just had a report to council yesterday that said we have an unprecedented number of expansion, housing, commercial, and industrial development applications in-house, not just people talking about them, but they've been submitted in the last couple of months. So we're seeing, we've put the pieces in place to sort of make us a more attractive community. And I think we're starting to see the results of that. Our next challenge is going to be how do we process those, in an orderly fashion. But a community that, wants to grow like that is not just about the jobs. It's about the arts and the culture and the recreational components as well, that people want to have a quality of life. And, that becomes the expectation. Everybody's expectations are different. The senior expectation might be to work 15 hours a week to make a few bucks and have something to do, a social thing. A greeter, at a Walmart. A young student might feel the same way. I just want to, work a few hours a week while I'm studying to make some extra money. But there's going to be an expectation from a parent or a single mother or a father, that I need a good paying job. We have a lot of companies here with good paying jobs who can't find people to work in them. So, there's the other labor shortage. When I talked about these companies that are expanding in our community over the next little while who have talked to me about it, their biggest concern is we're not sure where we're going to get the people to fill these jobs. These are not minimum wage jobs.
We need to make sure our skills retraining is
absolutely
connected.
We have to be in sync, right? We can't do this but not have this, and people have to recognize that as well. I think that there might be an opportunity for them to to retrain in some different things. I know we have some different groups in the city that do a good job at that, but again, it goes to that expectation. From a municipal point of view, we're already doing a lot of things, I think, to sort of help with that process. And it's more than just minimum wage, obviously, but it's a starting point. And I think over the next few years, folks are going to see some things moving in the right direction.
Great to hear. Property taxes as an example, keeping with that expectation versus reality theme, maybe you could go there.
Yeah, well, everybody wants their services. You know, when we talk about expectations, I want to clarify that, you know, because I wanted to talk about this. This was important to me because I hear it a lot from people that the reality, you know, versus what they expect. And they expect no potholes on the road. You know, they expect, you know, their property taxes to never go up. And not everybody. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, some of the folks that we hear from as a council. They expect their services to go up and get better and be maintained, but they don't expect to have to pay for that in an increased, you know, fashion. And I think when I talk about expectations and reality, that's what I'm trying to refer to is we've enjoyed a level of service, a quality of life in this country for a long, long time. We call it free healthcare. We all know it's not free, but, you know, healthcare through our programs, through the government. You know, we've had reasonable property taxes. You know, I can show you a chart that shows that, you know, on the average same price house, our taxes are lower than Peterborough. Our taxes are lower than Toronto. You know, average taxes for an average home. But, you know, we also have a huge geographic municipality. And you know, people don't want to, we've had these conversations with our arenas, our community halls. They don't want to give anything up, but they don't want to pay any more for them. And you know, it's costing more. We talk about these costs that are beyond our control, that are going up 20, 30% that we can't do anything about. You know, their expectations is that nothing should change. A lot of expectations out there is that, you know, we want to maintain what we have, but, you know, we're going to need to change some of these service levels. And I honestly believe we're going to have to lower some of our expectations if we want to maintain our quality of life and make choices. It's choices. It's not about doing away with a service. It's for garbage, for instance, if I can. You know, we have garbage pickup every week. We pick up recycling, you know, paper one week, plastic the next week. You know, maybe at one day, that's a huge cost to this municipality. We do it for every resident, every seasonal cottage in the municipality. Most municipalities don't do that. They make their certain residents in the rural areas take it to the landfill.